Hello everyone, welcome. This is Guilherme Alves, or simply Gui. I'm gonna give a brief introduction about myself and then talk about the flow of the course, of the classes in this introduction video. So, as you can see, I'm a very normal person, no mysteries, no secrets. You don't need any superpower to be able to produce the overtones, to be able to sing the throat singing or the polyphonic singing. There are many ways to talk about this art. So I've been making music since I was 4, maybe 3. It's always been there. Always loved to explore, to play. And I was very lucky to have a great grandfather who would make guitars, a grandmother who plays the piano and sings beautifully, and another grandfather who's always been into martial arts. I remember seeing him in his Tai Chi flow, his Qigong sounding. So that brought me a lot of inspiration and creativity. And I have these memories in the garden of my mind, which is very pleasant. Always been fascinated by Brazilian music, Brazilian culture, and different cultures around the world, different sounds, colors, aromas, rhythms, perspectives. And I've always been intrigued by music made just with the body, just with the voice. Something opened up in my ears, in my attention. And inspired by this, I created this lab called Musical Yoga, perceiving music as a great platform for self-knowledge, for an intimate connection with life, with others, developing a sense of community, of communion, as a bridge to the inner sanctum. And together with many musical development methodologies that already exist, thinking together, what would be this new musical education? Not focused only on performance, but body work, self-knowledge, emotions, self-regulation, breathing, expression, pulsation, connection. I say this because for many people, the musical instrument is sometimes on the way for the person, preventing them from developing more fluid and less rigid musicality, because it can be traumatizing, the way they teach music, the way the music is transmitted. Not only music, but teaching methodologies in general, without looking the needs of that student. Just like in myself, I can say about my difficulties and challenges in music school when I was 10, 12, these teachers that would tell theory, concepts and mechanical practices, repetition, memorization, and then backaches and fear of making mistakes and frustration, guilt, or like in a choir, is it the right tone, right time? Is it the right breath? What is the right position, the right words? And I've been able to move on from these negative experiences, and nowadays I'm a multi-instrumentalist, mainly playing the 7-string guitar and I've been lucky to travel to different places in Brazil and different countries with my music, playing in festivals, concerts, retreats, giving workshops in body percussion, Brazilian rhythms, self-knowledge, and polyphonic singing. And I've had the opportunity to meet great teachers with different perspectives on making music. So I remember when I listened to the Polyphonics for the first time, I had goosebumps all over my body, filled with sensation of recognition, of a belonging, something ancient and innate to humanity and intrinsic to the present moment. I was in Bahia, north of Brazil, with our feet on the ground in a very simple circle, led by this old wise lady with white hair and a big smile on her face, with people from all ages, all colors, really. And the children were the ones who would learn the fastest because they weren't ashamed to explore, express, and make faces, And I remember her saying that when we listen to our own overtones, we are opening our ears to a very vast inner universe. And this stayed with me, And after I did the practice, I listened to the notes, felt a great effect. But my scientific mind immediately switched on, to understand what was going on. Because I was taken to this place of deep attention, awareness, places similar to the experience of meditation, yoga, ayahuasca. And I have a background as a music therapist from the Brazilian Music Conservatorium with a post-degree in Ayurveda or integrative medicine. And I'm a student and practitioner of yoga and involved in different kinds of research as neuroscience with the Federal University of Rio, transpersonal psychology, sustainability, and various other fascinating topics. In 2014, I developed Paciência, or the science of being, the science of self, this multidisciplinary methodology that offers integrative health and self-knowledge programs. I've also written an article on my research in music therapy and ayahuasca. So if anyone is interested, just let me know, send me a message, and I'll make it available for you. And just now navigating through the flow of the course, the idea that it's very practical. We can find all the theory we need online nowadays, tip of the fingers, just Google it. And apart from this introduction video, there's only one more video explaining what are the overtones, the polyphonics, a little bit of the history and the cultures, the techniques. And then the 4 next videos, they are fully into the practice. The 2 first ones, they are focusing on warming up, preparing our instruments, because the techniques, they are not complicated at all, Being able to hear your own harmonics is relatively easy, but what we learn here, and the most important, is to develop the clarity of the sound, the sharpness of the notes, being able to sustain the sound with quality and presence. The 2 other videos are the techniques themselves. I'm also going to share audios with the practices, so you can just play and listen without the visual sight. I'll also share some instrumental tracks playing the fundamental notes in different tones to support our study. It's always good to explore low, middle, and high ranges, tonality. And the vision of the journey, it's like we are walking on a trail to a big mountain. We see it far away, we walk for many hours. We keep walking and we stop for a little breath. We see the mountain still very far away, but at least we see a little bit more of details, colors. So yeah, that's a space for us to breathe. So it's a reminder that we are walking together, always walking, always refining our listening, because that's the main step. It's the first step for self-knowledge. So we'll try we'll succeed, we'll fail, we'll give up, and we'll try again, because this very failure is the key and the place for learning. It's listening to these mistakes as the best teachers for us to take the next step. So also just giving this invitation, this reminder for us to join this monthly online meetings with the study group, also called the labs, so we can deepen our practices, receive feedback. And it's going to be a group support. It's a therapeutical approach to music, not only to the overtones, but to develop your musicality at all, your senses of expression. So very looking forward to this.